Hi, I'm Wayne Allen Root for Personal Liberty. The greatest nation in world history is being destroyed, plundered, and looted by the premeditated murder of the middle class. This is no accident, mistake, or coincidence. This is a purposeful plan. This is the boldest, grandest criminal conspiracy in world history. Although the man at the center of this massive world-class fraud is Barack Obama, there are many moving parts and co-conspirators. These include famous billionaire businessmen, corporate CEOs, the Federal Reserve, Wall Street bankers, central bankers, government employee unions, the IRS, EPA, NSA, the Bar Association, assorted communists and America haters, and even some well-known D.C. establishment Republicans. It's quite a shocking list of co-conspirators. Lies and fraud are at the center of this murder of the middle class. President Obama and various big government politicians need to distract the middle class from their real agenda. Lies are their WMD, weapons of mass distraction. So they claim Obamacare is about saving the sick and uninsured, when the real objective is income redistribution through higher taxes and higher insurance premiums to make the middle class poor and dependent on government. They claim environmental regulations and green energy will save us from global warming, when the real objective is bankrupting the middle class by doubling or tripling utility bills, gas bills, and grocery bills, once again making the middle class dependent on government. They claim immigration reform is about protecting innocent children, when the real objective is to create 12 million new low-wage employees in the labor force, depress middle-class wages for generations to come, create 12 million future Democratic voters, and assign all of them lawyers at the expense of middle-class taxpayers to benefit the Bar Association, the biggest donor to the Democratic Party. They claim higher taxes are to create equality, when the real objective is income redistribution to Obama's voters and starving the biggest donors to conservative causes and candidates, small business, and the middle class. They claim higher education spending is for the kids, but it's never enough. And the real objective is enriching teachers' unions so they can funnel hundreds of millions of dollars back to Obama and Democratic politicians. They claim bailing out GM was to save jobs, when the real goal was saving bloated pensions for auto union members whose unions kick back hundreds of millions of dollars to, guess who, Obama and Democratic politicians. The Fed claims quantitative easing is to save the economy, when the real goal was making crony capitalist Warren Buffett $12.7 billion richer just last year, while the children and unborn grandchildren of you, middle-class taxpayers, owe back $17 trillion in debt used to fund a fixed craps game on Wall Street. It's always about lying to cover up the real agenda of murdering the middle class, redistributing wealth, making it impossible for small business to compete with big business, rewarding lobbyists, lawyers, and crony capitalists, keeping politicians in office for life, and putting big government in control of our every move. But the biggest lie of all is when politicians like Obama claim it's all okay. Things are getting better. We're in a recovery. Look away. There's nothing to see here. Well, it's not okay. This author, me, Wayne Root, was just notified by his insurance company that my family's health insurance policy has been canceled. When Obama was elected, my bill was $500 per month. Today, it's $1,700 per month. Now my family will have no insurance at all because of Obamacare. Tens of millions of middle-class Americans will soon receive the same notice. This is no mistake. This was premeditated fraud upon the middle class. My grocery bills have skyrocketed. How about yours? My electric bills are at all-time highs. How about yours? My gas prices have doubled since Obama became president. How about yours? How can middle-class people survive without becoming dependent on government? Ah, that's the point. All this while the economy is in crisis and collapse. The GDP for the first quarter was negative 2.9%, one of the worst showings in history, 6 years after Obama's trillion-dollar stimulus promised to save the economy. That stimulus went to Obama's voters, the poor, and Obama's donors, the super rich, but the bill in the form of debt goes to the middle class for decades to come. No, things are not all right. Here are just a few of the facts that support the middle class is being murdered. Are you ready? China is set to pass America as the world's #1 economy this year based on consumer spending. It will be the first time since 1872 that America has not been the #1 economy in the world. For the first time in history, America's middle class isn't #1 in the world. Canada's middle class has passed us. For the first time in history, more businesses are closing each day than starting up. There are now 70% more Americans collecting entitlement checks than working in the private sector. 148 million takers versus 86 million makers. A fact provided not by conservatives like me, but by the U.S. Census Bureau. The average full-time male employee now earns less, adjusted for inflation, than 40 years ago. 20% of U.S. families don't have a single member who's employed. Record numbers of Americans are not in the workforce, over 92 million. The number of working age Americans without a job has increased by about 10 million in Obama's first 5 years as president. That means each and every year of Obama's presidency, 2 million more Americans disappeared from the workforce. The guy is a magician like David Copperfield. America's second largest employer is a temp agency. 70% of Americans believe we're still in the middle of the economic crisis or that the worst is yet to come, and I fear they are correct. There's no doubt the great American middle class is being murdered. We must have the courage to save the middle class and preserve the American dream. This fight is just getting started. Get informed and join the battle. I hope you'll read my new book, The Murder of the Middle Class. It's available at any fine bookstore, or of course you can order right now at Amazon.com. I'm Wayne Allen Root for Personal Liberty. God bless America and save us from the murder of the middle class.